Welcome to Motorhead Garage. On today's episode, Sam and Dave are talking about the golden age of radio. We're taking an AM relic and giving it a 21st century upgrade. Move over, old push buttons, and welcome to the LED age. We'll also tackle some rust issues and feature a portable workstation. All of this and plenty more coming up with Sam and Dave on Motorhead Garage.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage. Well, today we're going to talk about rust. We got a 38 Chevy pickup truck here. I have one of these, and believe me, I've scrutinized this truck. I only saw 2 usable parts on it, not counting this external fender brace here. And of course, this is really used as an example to tell you a little bit about rust. When you're dealing with rust, you want to take care of the rust and not the metal. We got David Harris here with Evapo-Rust. David, tell me what you got hooked up here.
Hey, Sam. What we've got here is Evapo-Rust shower method.
Okay.
Normally we use Evapo-Rust as a dip, but there's a lot of things that they're too big to dip.
Right.
So we've got to come up with another way to get Evapo-Rust on the surface wet until the rust is gone. Okay. You can see that right here, this is really rusty. Sure. So what we've done is we've got a pump down here, just a cheap pump, some hose, and a cheap shower head. The whole rig is going to cost us maybe $75.
Let's plug it in and see it go.
All right.
You know, we can't salvage this door. This door is beyond. I mean, not only is the bottom of the door rotted out, which was typical of these trucks, the whole frame's gone. And, you know, I just got some on me now. This stuff doesn't hurt.
No, we're not using gloves. We're not using eye protection. It's completely safe. It won't hurt you at all. You can put your hands in it. We're just going to do a small section here just for demonstration purposes. Sure. We're just going to let it drain over the top of this. You can let this run for overnight, 24 hours, whatever it's going to need. It's going to come down here, hit the shower curtain, go into this reserve tank. This reserve tank's got the pump in it, pumps it back up, so we've just
recirculate all night.
Got a recirculating
What's the
tank.
pH of this stuff?
pH is 6.1, so this is not an acid, it's not a base, it's completely neutral.
That's neutral, so it's not going to hurt you. And you're going to do this, and we're not going to remove the paint, we're not going to hurt the decals. Like I said, this door is beyond, this truck is trash. But we're going to show you how this works. We'll let this sit down here and run. And of course, there's a lot of things you can do with Evapo-Rust.
Certainly. You can derust the frames of the car, you can derust any body panels that you've got here, and any parts that you can remove and soak, you want to do it that method. But it's not going to damage anything on this car. It's not going to hurt the original metal at all. Yeah,
now tell me about this. It's not flammable.
No, it's not flammable. It's water-based. It's reusable, so you're just going to use it over and over and over.
Okay. Now, how about evaporating? You know, if it evaporates a little bit in the container, then what?
The only thing that evaporates out of this is the water. The chemical doesn't evaporate. So if you lose some, just add your own water back to it, keep right on going.
Oh, okay. So it's one of the things that you can replenish the water, and the water is the carrier for the chemical.
Right.
That's good. So we're going to let this run, and we're going to let it sit, and, you know, we'll let it sit overnight. We'll come back. We'll see what we have for result. And again, it'll take off the rust. It doesn't hurt the metal. It doesn't hurt paint. And we'll see if any of this comes back, because this is really a test for this product.
It is.
While we're doing this, David will show you exactly what we're doing.
Sooner or later, your car is going to get a dent in it. Now, you can do a couple things. You can just let it go. A lot of people do that. Or you can have it fixed, and if it's deep enough, you got to have it pounded out and sanded and repainted. Or in a lot of cases, the dent may not be that bad, and you can have it removed with what we call a paintless dent removal tool, sort of like this. But there's other ways to do that as well, where this tool may not always work. And we got Steve Hoff here, who can tell us all about it.
I have some exciting new technology to show you, Dave, and it's the T-Hotbox 3650, and it's a heat induction machine that's used to take small, soft dents out without harming the paint.
And that's where you couldn't use this. In other words, someplace on the car, you just can't reach it with these.
Correct, and we use this as a supplemental tool in conjunction with the paintless dent removal
Let me
tools.
see how this thing works.
You got it. Okay, this is a heat pin, and what this does is it applies heat and magnetism and vibration to the panel, and it will lift the dent up by pulsing the power and applying heat to the dent, to the low spot of the dent. So we've got a typical hail dent in this rail. It's an inaccessible area that we really couldn't get to with the dent rod, so we're going to go ahead and use the hot box to lift this dent up. So the idea here is to look through the V sight on the heat pin so I can see the low in the dent and then pulse it. And what it's doing is it's applying heat to that panel and lifting that low up.
Now you're applying heat to that. I mean, does that bother the paint at all?
You can apply too much heat to it, and so this machine has settings that allow us to apply just the manageable, correct amount of heat without burning the paint.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just about perfect right there.
Well, it is. I can see it. I can see you pull it out right now. Of course, it's always tough on these cars, especially a black car. You know, it's hard to find those dents, but if the light is just right, then they really pop out.
Right. We have our dent lights set up so that we can see exactly whether the dent is out.
Okay, so you got some other dents on here too you're going to fix?
Yeah, we're going to show you a dent in another spot.
Okay, let's see what you're going to do. Now, Steve, I noticed you got two more dents marked there, one with an X and a little smiley face on it. What about those?
We're limited to smaller, softer dents, Dave, so I'm gonna demonstrate.
So the one with the X there is, you'd have to use this Ultra tool for that, right?
Correct. The one with the X is too deep, and the one on the far side with the smile is soft enough for the hot box. So I'm gonna use half a second timing on the settings because it's controllable. And then I'm going to let it sit, and as it cools, it's going to relax, and it's going to hopefully pull back down into the perfect flat position.
Now, I noticed that one of the things that you have here are these special lights that come with your kit, too. This is really important so you can see these things in it.
The lights are critical. You really can't do the repair without the lights.
Okay, well, that looks like, I
Looks
can't
like I
believe it.
got
I
it.
mean, you pulled that sucker right out of there.
Looks good, huh?
Well, Sam has got a challenge for you over there on an old Mustang body. You ought to check him out.
Okay.
Steve and Dave are having way too much fun over there. This is a pretty interesting little piece of technology. I want to do some of this myself. Hey, Steve, come on over and tell me if I got this set right. I think I got it in half a second.
Okay, yeah. Half a second is ideal for this. We've got a painted trunk lid, and a half a second is a controllable, manageable setting so that we're going to do it without burning the paint.
Okay.
So I want you to start off on the right-hand side of that soft crease there.
All right, on the right-hand side.
Uh-huh.
And just
pulse it, hold it all the way. You're going to hold it. It's going to stop on its own. So
okay.
You're going to hold it until
I
it
felt
stops.
it stop.
Yeah.
Hey, we're almost gone.
Okay, go again. A little bit more to the right.
Here?
Right there, yep. Pulse it again.
That's gone. Now, I got one over here that's a little bit sharper.
Okay.
All right.
So try that one. And you're
right
going to want to go right in the center of that one because it's just a smaller, sharper dent. Okay, pulse it again. You can wait about a few seconds between each pulse.
Well, I'm going to keep working on this. This is some great technology. You may want to add it to your arsenal. Right now, we need to take a break. Stick around. We've got a lot more coming here at Motorhead Garage. Now, I can see that.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Original Parts Group, the world's largest source for GMA body parts and accessories. Custom Autosound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. Race Gas, get more out of your engine. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage. We've got a nice little specimen here, 65 Mustang convertible. It's a pretty little car, 50 years old. Look at it, it looks great. It's got automatic transmission, air conditioning. One of the things it didn't have was a good sound system. Had the old stock AM radio. So we've been doing some work to upgrade that. Davey, here's the old...
that thing out of there?
There you go.
Okay. Boy, does that bring back memories, Sam?
Well, that was before my time.
Anyway, this is the stock radio that come out of it. And you can see it's been around for a long time. But this is what we're going to replace it with, is right here. This is from Custom Autosound. This is called their slide bar radio. And look at that thing. And here, look at the difference between the two. You can see just a direct fit here. But this is so much nicer. It'll do so many more things, too. And one of the things that you notice here, this slide bar, if you slide it like this, you look at the dial, it's like it was in the old days. So if somebody's looking in your car, they'll never know the difference. You slide it over, though, and you get a digital readout on this. Plus, these two knobs here control a lot of different things between sound and stations. This is also designed so that you can hook up an iPod amplifier, different speakers. Here you go, Sam. This is compact, but it'll do so many things for you.
You know, the neat part about this radio is it's 300 watts. That's a powerful radio. Like Dave said, it's got a play and charge USB port. On the back, you can see, you got a DIN connection here, and a cable comes with it. They have an optional thin CD player. This will control your CD player from the front. When you're in the digital display, of course, it has RDS. It displays in the station where you have things like the artist, the song. There's 7 different colors on this thing, selectable by the owner. And it just got all kinds of great features. Now, wiring it's pretty simple. Right on the radio chassis itself, you got a diagram. And this is a speaker wire diagram, but it gives you some precautions here. Don't put your positive and negative leads together, and never hook any speaker lead to a battery plus. That protects the integrated circuit in there, because this is a full digital radio. Now, here's what I've done. I got a harness that comes with it. Don't just go by the colors. They're all labeled. For example, that takes care of your power antenna. The heavy yellow wire, which is the heaviest gauge of all, that's your battery plus. The red one is your accessory position. You've got one for amp control, and of course you got your ground. Always make sure you got a good ground. Now, I've got the power wire harness in. You want to check your work. So take a voltmeter, put on the volt scale, make sure you're on DC volts, okay? Now, first thing I want to do is take my yellow wire is battery plus. So with the key switch on, I should have battery voltage there. I go there, get myself a decent ground. Battery in this car is a little low, it's 11.8 volts, but that's good. Now when I shut that off, I go into the accessory position, which is the red wire. That's so you can listen to the radio with the accessory position, and that way you're not going to have your key on. On an old points ignition, leaving the key on can burn the points, heat up the coil. So, and again, make sure you got a good ground. Now this car here has got 2 speakers on the dash, and the guy put some quality speakers in there, but that's it. That's all he wants to do. He wants this car to stay original. That gives you 2 speakers, and the wire harness for the speakers will accommodate that. But you got control for all kinds of speakers, even an amp. So Custom Autosound has got all kinds of stuff that you need. Right now, we need to take a break. Stick around. We've got a lot more coming here at Motorhead Garage.
Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Sam and I are here installing this custom Autosound radio. All right, bud, I got some things here for you.
All right.
We got speakers here that Custom Autosound has. These are 140 watt speakers. You can add a lot of different things to this little radio. It's really versatile. They also have a whole amplifier system here with speakers that goes with that as well. And if you really want to dress this thing up, they even supply you with some of the kick panels. Now there's both of them right here. Got high quality speakers in here to really make this little radio cook. And you can see all you have to do is you can either paint them or you upholster them, whatever you need to do on your kick panels, put them in, and you got a nice sounding car. But they have all these additional things, plus, like I said, you can get Bluetooth, you can get a lot of different options for this to dress this thing up however you want it. Sam, how you coming in there?
Not too bad, buddy. And one of the things that's nice about this radio, you got to be careful. This car's got air conditioning, so it's got some duct work back here. You don't want to interfere with that, okay? And I got my hand stuck in here. What's neat about this radio is it installs through the dash, original holes, you don't have to cut anything, no adapter plates, so it looks original. You also get a little metal perforated strap. On the back of the radio is a stud. Find a place to hook this to the chassis someplace, and of course, that'll keep the back of the radio from flopping around, and it won't put all of the stress and strain on the staffs. So I'll feed this thing through. We'll see if we can hook this up. Make sure your antenna connection's good. And when it comes to a ground, always get a good ground. Don't just put it to some sheet metal screw behind the dash. The biggest problem you have with anything electronic, particularly when it's digital, is a bad ground. You want a really good ground. So we'll pop this thing right through here. And again, this would be real easy if I didn't have all this ductwork behind me on the air conditioner.
Hey, Sam, how you doing? I'd give you a hand if I could help you out.
There's not enough room for me in here, never mind the both of us.
I know.
All right. So, and when you're working behind the dash, be careful of everything. We've got this in. There's a little flat washer and a nut that goes on it. On both sides, they're a real fine thread. So you want to make sure that you take the time to start them nice and smooth with your fingers. Okay? And again, you'll notice one of the things we did was we took the glove compartment out. Those come out pretty easy. A few screws gives you plenty of room to access behind the radio. Make sure you get it fitting nice and tight, nice and just fits perfectly in here. Now, if you look at this car, it's hard to find a car that's 50 years old that hasn't been, you know, modified a little bit. Somebody must have changed radios at one point. They cut a little notch in this metal dash. You don't have to do that with the custom Autosound sidebar radio. You got 300 watts of bolt-in power that'll look just like the same little AM radio that the car came with. Line up your little slots. And again, all this stuff is, you want to be gentle with it. You don't want to be forceful. You want to take good care of it. Push those on. Then we'll put our control knobs on, and we should be ready to light this thing up. Davey, I'm getting real close.
How you coming there, dude?
Well, I'll probably need to read the manual to
learn how to turn it on, right?
Well, if it's not just AM with a reverb unit, I could be in trouble. Let's do that.
Let's see what it's going to do.
Just turn it, it comes up and it says custom Autosound.
Wow.
Yep. The colors are selectable. And of course, you got 25 presets.
FM 107.9 WBEJ AM 7.
I wanted to answer the question why Obama
there you go.
doesn't like Netanyahu.
Well, and then it says goodbye. So there's really not much to it. Follow the instructions, do a nice, neat job. Like I said, good ground. Make sure you put the strap on the back of the radio, and you too can have all the neat features it's got. It's even got a digital signal processing equalizer in it, subwoofer line out for that nice little subwoofer you showed up there. Got it all.
Yeah, and don't forget, you got all kind of accessories that you can hook up with this. So all you have to do is contact Custom Autosound. Sam, you did a heck of a job there. I wish I could have helped you more.
I'm going to read how to change you got 7 different LCD color choices.
We got more coming here on Motorhead Garage. Stick around.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Warren Diesel, doing our best to bring you quality parts at an affordable price. Lift and Tow, the hidden tow system. Evapo-Rust, super safe rust remover. And by Assenmacher Specialty Tools, professional tools for the professional technician. Time now for the industry update.
You know, if you need a portable workstation, you're working outside, this is it, Fast Shelter. Comes in a big black bag, it's a pack-up bag. You just lay it out, plug it in, it takes care of itself. This is OSHA and EPA approved as a portable spray booth. You want to shoot a nice finish on your car, you got a way to go. And of course, it's made out of 8-ounce final coated nylon on the framework. The base is 14-ounce. And the cover is 8 ounce. And again, it's UV inhibited, it's flame retardant, it's stitched together with polyester bonded thread. And of course, it comes with a blower now. Whether it's a small one, you get an internal blower. This has a large 1 horsepower blower. You plug it in, you set it up, you can tie it down. A lot of features here at the Fast Shelter. Inside you have hooks, D-rings all around it. You can hang stuff up. Of course, you can tie it down outside. The drape doors have windows in them and they zipper closed. You have windows on both sides. You can add windows to it. You can even add, this has got the optional port where you can introduce filtration, or you can add heat, air movement systems. If you're doing mobile paint repair, dentless paint repair, and you're doing detailing, you don't want to lose a day's work to bad weather, or you want to look real professional, Fast Shelter's got you covered. Made in the USA, by the way. It even has a place to put a banner on the outside so you look professional. So if you need a mobile workstation, a place to work outside, or a great place to paint your car, check them out on their website at Fast Shelters. All right, we're back here to the side of our truck where we had the shower. Remember what I said? This truck's rustier than Dave. That's why it's going to the scrap heap. But with the Evapo-Rust, this ran, what, 24 hours?
It did, yeah.
Okay, and you can see, now there's some rust that's all the way through. If we left this on a lot longer, this would be perforated. But there's the decal, didn't take the decal off. This obviously had black paint on it, didn't hurt the paint. But here's the interesting thing, now that we've cleaned it up, got the rust out, we can see a guy named Jesse, he hand-leaded this. That's probably sign paint and paint.
Yeah.
And it didn't take that off.
70 years old.
Yep. So, you know, we're playing here, showing you how to rig up a little shower. What do guys use the showers for mostly?
They're going to use it on frames for the most part. Frames, quarter panels, anything that's too big to soak on a car. And it's something that you can do in your garage. You can control how it gets done. You don't have to send it off to somebody. You don't know what they're going to do to get the rust off. You know how it's done, and that lets you take control of your restoration project.
And the important thing is when you're done, you wash it off with cold, fresh water.
Right.
And then you got nice raw metal, and you're ready to do your prep work, and you can save a lot of parts. So, and it's, again, environmentally safe, doesn't hurt you, don't have to have glasses and gloves. It's a great way to go. Well, I hope you learned something about getting rid of rust, an easy way to do it, and a good way to do it. By the time we'll see you next time here at Motorhead Garage. This is pretty good. Yeah. Look at this. That's amazing.